Hello again. In my continuing effort to repair one of the chairs from our church, I have to make some stiles, and which is the back part of the chair. Um, so basically, what I have to do is I have to make one of these, and this goes into the bottom of the back, and this is what you rest your back on. It starts out with square stock, and the last video I did, I turned it octagonal. And so this time it's going to go from octagonal to facets, and we'll put facets on here. And the hope is to get it roughed in to where it's just this curve isn't in here yet, and this curve isn't in here yet. It's just basically from here to here, from 7/8 down to the rough final dimension on both sides, and that's 7/8 here, 11/16 here, and I think 11/16 here too. But anyway, let me go ahead and switch you around and continue. Okay, first thing I want to do is zoom in here. Where is it? There it is. All right, here is the diameter that we need to get it to. That'll be 11/16. This very edge is the 7/8 diameter. So we basically need to blend this, and I got that on the other side too. There's those 7/8. So first thing I got to do is get my bench pony out of the way. I don't have room in my small shop for a bench horse, so, or a draw horse, whatever they call those. So I have a bench pony, and it serves as a camera clamp and a clamp for everything. But we don't need it for this operation. There you go. Hey. Primarily what I have to use is my French vise. Okay, so this is the rough stock that I milled up last time. And as you can see there's the lines that I'm going to. This outside line is 7/8, this inside line is 11/16. And what I have to do is just basically plane it down from about right here all the way down to 7/8. And that gives me the rough angle for where I can carve in later to get this part, this angle. Okay, and this side over here is for the short side, where it's just 11 for the 7/8 to 11/16. So what I gotta do is from this side there to there, facet it down. Here is my jig. It's got all the numbers that is part of this eventual chair style. This is kind of what it looks like in the end. This is one of the old ones. It's short, and it's got some rot right in here that makes it unstable. So this is one of the ones that I'm going to replace. But it makes a good pattern. This is one of the short ones, and then this is the long one, and it's only the only difference between the two is that it's an inch longer at the top. And you can see this blue one. What happened is that the part that goes into the chair back actually broke off. So I could technically make this a short one, but then I would have one good one and 3 bad ones. So I'm just going to make 4 good ones, and I've already got 4 good ones made. Right now I'm just making the backup, because something can always happen to one of these, and then I'll have to spend another few days trying to make one of these. So if I just make them all now, then I won't have to worry about it. The other thing important is this is a story stick. it would go like this. This is the bottom, and it's 9/16. This part right here is the part that goes into the base of the chair, into the seat, and then this is the 11/16. This is the basically where it goes from the 9/16, 5/8 up to 11/16. It's just showing the gradient to 7/8. Instead, this part is the widest part of the style, and then it starts to taper down, and then it goes from 5/8 down to 9/16, back up to 5/8. So this is the only part where I can't use my gauge because I can't get the gauge in to check the 9/16. So with that, I'll probably actually have to use a caliper or something. And then I have a mark here. This is 5/8 on the short ones, and this is 5/8 on the long ones. And then it ends in 3/8 at these 2 points. So that's my story stick, and that's how I'm going to lay this out. It goes that way. So basically what I have to do is grab my pen and make a rough mark. This one's not as important right now. This one's not as important right now. This is the one that's important because this is showing the high parts. So this is the one that I'm trying to get ready now. But I'll go ahead and mark the other ones. This 5/8, what happens is it goes from 7/8 to 11/16 to 5/8. This is just showing that gradient. And then it goes back up to 5/8. So to facet this, and this is I'm going to call this video facitating, is that so you stick it in your vise. I don't have anything that makes this easier, and this is all hardwood. It's not green wood, so this is about the easiest way to do it. And so what I have to do is start here, and I'm using my number 5 again to start it, and I'm going to rough it in with this and then go with my block plane later. But basically it's a lot of this. And what I'm doing is I'm taking all these high spots and I am planing it down to this next level. Being mindful that when I get to this point, which is where my 7/8 mark is, I don't want to be touching it very much. It is still high here. This is actually closer to an inch. So I can still cut some down here, but this is where I want to start tapering out. So I'm going to be heavy on this end and then work my way back. And I'm right down at that level. And I can take a few more this way. So I'm going to just sort of blend that in. I need to get me a stool. I'm trying to rest my leg. Okay, so that's the gist of it, and I'll show you what it looks like. So now the facet is here, and it goes all the way up to right here, to where the point is. And so now I'm going to go to this one. I'm going to facet that down, and this one, and facet it down, and this one, and facet it down, and until it becomes near round. So I'm going to back the chair away and start faceting. And at some point I'm going to go fast forward here so you don't have to watch all this. But again, just start from this end, get it close, and back away a little bit. Little more. And you can see now I'm down to that, near that second line. I'm just going to keep going around. And if I go a little bit long with this part, it's fine because this down here on the end is going to be 9/16, not 7/8. So it can be a little short. I just don't want to go too high down here on this end. And this is really quick. It's actually taking longer because I have the camera on. And it's a little bit too high. And you want this at an angle so that way, believe it or not, it helps when you're planing because it keeps your plane from going too deep. It acts almost like a stop. So now I'm pretty much down to where I need to be there. I can go a little bit lower. But we're going to go ahead and start on this side, and I'll smooth that out with the block plane later. I just want to get the rough stuff done while I still have a back. Okay. And the one place that I don't do any filing or planing yet, this will be the last part that gets planed because I can use it in my bench pony to grip on and stuff, and then after I get most of it roughed in, then I can start smoothing this down, and that way I don't damage the piece. So now we're going to start on the longer side. Put this here. And this goes to the same level. It goes to 7/8, and it goes all the way to here. So I can put it just like that. And just start basically the same way I did before. So the goal in all this is to make it round. Taking the high spots and flattening them down, taking the high spots and flattening them down, kind of like when you're making steel when you're taking a square piece of stock and turning it into a round bar. Start out square. And the square you turn into an octagonal. And the octagonal you turn into a 16-sided, then 32-sided, and then all of a sudden it's round. That's kind of what it's doing here. Okay, so I got it down a little bit. Now I'm going to go back through again. But now I'm going to go with my block plane. I got most of it down. Now I want to make sure it doesn't go too far. So basically the same thing. This wood is actually behaving more than the last one did because I had some curvy grain in it, and it was causing me all sorts of fun. So now basically what I'm doing is just planing it all down to that line. Trying to get the facets put all the way back in here. And being as equal as I can. So that way it makes it a lot easier later when I go to carve this down with the fork plane. Okay. Now, if this were green wood, I would have used a fro and pulled a lot of this off, roughed it out with that, and then went on to my foreplane to smooth it out. But since what I'm dealing with is restoring an old chair, I can't use green wood on an old chair because the shrinking and stuff like that. So I have to use kiln dried birch. So I'm doing it this way because I don't have a lathe. Use the tools that God gave you. Which is your brain and your hands. And the tools that you have at your disposal. Gotta go more. So I'm pretty much down over here. I just gotta smooth it out more. But yeah, here's my end piece, and I see I still got all this that has to be roughed out. This is all still faceted, so let's smooth this out a little bit. Well, something I forgot to do was mark roughly where my high spot is. Can't go any high. Can't go. Don't want to touch this area. That's very much. So let's. got some rough. I got a little bit of spot right here where the wood grain switch places. Looks like it got quarter saw in there a little bit from the table saw. So I'm going to go ahead and, it's still pretty thick. I'm going to go ahead and turn it the opposite way and plane some of that out, so I don't have to deal with it later. That's got some of it. That's got enough. But okay, basically, it's roughed in enough that I can go and do the next phase of it, which would be rough carving it closer. So we'll do this side. So now basically what you have is a very crude Harry Potter wand. So that's about it. This area right in here is still at 7/8. This is almost 11/16, and this is almost 11/16, and it tapers up. I'll continue doing this, and when I get to the point where I put my bench pony back on to start carving these out, I'll bring y'all back. Okay, this is the last step between getting the rough blank to the close to final product. The only step after this is that I have to trim the ends to get it to fit the chair, and I want to use a dowel plate for that, and it's not come in yet, so let's go from there. I've reinstalled my bench pony. Like I said before, I don't have enough room for a real shave horse, so I had this bench pony instead, and it's kind of modified from a design that I saw on Fixing Furniture. My jaws are inset, and that's because I screwed up. So basically I only have enough room for about 1.5 inches, but it's perfect for something like this. So one caveat with this little bench pony is that when you set it up, make sure your arms are clear of anything sharp, like say the edge of a fence. I've got bruised elbows because of that. Hazardous small spaces. So it's basically get a comfy chair, sit back, and get started. Okay, so basically what I have to do is that I have to shave this down to this. And to get there, I'll be using things like spoke shaves. I got 2 of these. And then once I get down to a point, I'll start using scrapers. I got a couple with a curve on it. And I could pull out a rasp every once in a while, or a file. I actually have this rasp that I use too from time to time. It all depends on what's needed at the time. I'm done with my planing, but I am going to keep my block plane out because I may use that to thin some stuff down later, like that center part that's supposed to be 7/8. I'll probably need to thin it down some more. But hey, so get a comfy chair. Unfortunately, I don't have one of those. I have a very uncomfortable stool. And grab your workpiece. And get started. I am going to start on the long end. And there. I'll show you what I do on it, and it's basically the same for the short end. I take my store stick out. And I'll line everything up. This is the long end. And you can see I got it butted in down here. And it's still over my I still got an inch here, so I got an inch of wiggle room. And that's good for like when I go to put the tenon in. I'm going to need some room to make that tenon. So, and I've actually added more room down here than what's required as well. So I have I've got some, on each end I've got a little bit of wiggle room. So I'm going to be working on this end, the long end. And so I'm going to mark 7/8, so I know not to go farther than that. And 11/16. And right now I'm going to work to 11/16. And I'll go from this end all the way to here, and then feather it up to the 7/8. And then what I would do is go from 5/8 to about right in here. And then that's where this is right here. That's where this final is. This is 5/8. And it starts feathering up about right in here to 11/16 and 7/8. So I've got that marked. I'm going to roughly draw it all the way around on both of them. That is roughly at 11/16. So I'll put that away for now, and basically what I'm going to do is just start scraping it off. I start very shallow, like 3 or 4 inches. I do 3 or 4 inches, then I move it up and do 3 or 4 more inches, and then do move it up to 3 or 4 more inches until I'm there. So take the spoke shave and just start digging in. Or basically I'm starting to make facets again. Got some grain going the wrong way. And continue on. I don't want to take out too much at one time. I just want to keep going. About 4 or 5 times. I've got this set so it's deeper here than here. So that way as I'm going up, I can use this edge to taper it out more. And right here near the very end it slides over. It's not even out past the plate there. So sometimes it skips. 4 or 5 little holes. And then I go back. Smooth out all the facets. I tell you, I can't tell if woodworking is like metalworking or like foundry work, or foundry work is like metalwork, because you're basically doing the same thing to make something circular. You have to start with the square, take the square, turn it octagonal, 16, 30 seconds, basically the same thing. You just keep smoothing out your octagon. Keep smoothing out your facets. Either that or I've watched way too much Alex Steele. Probably that. What I'm doing, I'm just making sure that I don't go too far out of round. So now I'm going to take my 11/16 and see I'm still not deep enough to even push the end through, so I need to really take off a lot more. So I keep going. The proper time lapse is right now 2 minutes in. Okay, so I finally got it small enough where it'll fit in there, and I'm using the gauge to show me where my high spots are. Like right there, I don't know if you can see it or not, but it's rubbing there, so that means that's a little bit high. So I'll start there and just keep working it away. Again, this is all rough. This is all rough. Because this will be 5/8, so I'm just going to go. It's all about pulling it down. I don't want to spend too much time on one side and it would cause it to be out of balance. You see now I'm a whole couple inches deep. So now I'll give it a little scrape like that and mark where it's at. Take it back out. Got a little high spot there. A little high spot there. A little high spot there. So it looks like it's pretty high. It looks like it's pretty even all the way around, which is good. So now I got that 3. I'm gonna move down another 3 inches or so. Start doing the same thing. And as I'm getting down to this end, I'm just gonna start just pull straight like. Like that. So I'm not taking off too much down here. I find it easier as I go along. Just shave it right like that. Okay, that's about 15 minutes in. Ideally, here I'll show you this. Ideally, the ones that I've seen, this part of the spoke shape, this part of the shave pony should be like have like a triangle, like a jaw, like a tooth. So that way it's gripping on each side and not just on the one point. But when I made this, I hadn't seen that, and I just happened to see it on another video, and that's the one change we're going to make to this in the future. Whee! Okay. But I got leather jaws there. That keeps most of it away. Most of the bite damage to the wood away. What did I do? This is the point where I'm turning on NPR, turn on to music, and so save penalties. That's something recording. I can't because A, YouTube doesn't like copyright violations. And B, it's my phone. My phone is on here. This is that rough area that we had earlier. It's kind of rough all the way down, but here it's pretty bad. And so I just turned the spoke shade around and pushed it so it's going with the grain in that one little spot, just to keep it from tearing too much. Okay, here's that point. This is the point where it turns supposed to be 7/8. So right now the end of it is in my belly, and that's how I'm holding it still. I got my foot on the clamp, and my belly is holding it to keep it from moving back and forth. That was the one big problem I had before, was that it was slopping all over the place. And this is the only way I could figure out to keep it from moving. But I think most of that's because I don't have the right jaw there. Again, we're nowhere near 7/8. Got all the way down. All right. Put that down, give myself a check. Okay, I haven't moved on that end, so I can just keep going. So I'll go back down. My line is. Do some more. Again, I can go deep here because this will be 5/8 and 9/16. I'm just getting my next to widest measurement in on this side. That's all I'm doing. Now let's see what it looks like. So now I've gotten up another couple inches. Give that little turn. See where the high spots are. High spot there. There. Yeah. I'm pretty much staying consistent and even all the way around, so that's good. So now I just want to go to this point. So. Back here and set it over there. So right here. Let's see where he is. Now I'm all the way up there. So now I'm about 4 inches away. About even all the way around. Good. All right. Now here's my line, my 7/8 line. That's why I need to start getting worried about distance. I can go all the way up to here, all the way up to this point right here, but this can't go any lower than 7/8. That's all I'm concerned about. Keep on. I'm low on my cards on the top here. Just pick it up. I'm up to my 7/8 line up here. So I want to be very careful up in here and not take off too much. But I need to take off some so I can blend it to 11/16 line, which is about here. So. Okay, let's see where we are. Sanity check. About where we were before. Here's the line I did before. We've moved up a bit, but I really haven't worked up there. I've worked more up here. So, got a lot of rough patches and cut. All right, so we're getting close to our depth here. Then we'll start whittling slower in this area. Okay, now let's see where we're at. Now we're all the way up there. Okay. We're getting close to being where it's supposed to be 7/8. I think it's somewhere up here. So let's get the story stick out. That's the beauty of this thing. All right. 9/16. All right, so we're right at the 9/16 mark, so we got this much to do. So I'll go ahead and, but it's really not that much compared to where we were at the beginning 20 minutes ago. See, it's only about 4 inches. So put the story stuff down. This is that area that's got that quarter sawn or something. This is not straight. And I've had this problem with all this birch is that there's always one side that's going to be a little pill. As my mom used to say when I was a bad boy, she goes, "You're being a little pill." Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna stay out of this section for a while because I'm gonna cut deep in there. That's probably deep enough for now. Spot. getting close. Now we're only about an inch away. So now we'll start blending in. Wrong way. Wrong way. That would have been terrible. Half an inch away. So when we get this close, it's really finding out where it's touching, and then whittling away there. And we'll do this side back here. Go the right way. And that's going to be about it. I think. Yeah, we're close. So now that we're close, now I get the shaver out. Make sure your legs are covered. I really should have an apron on, but I don't have one up here. So I have my blue jeans on. And this is just a half round scraper, and all I'm going to do is use it to smooth out all these high spots all the way through. Like this. That helps with the rough spots too. That should be about right. Yeah. So when I go to trim down the 5/8 part right there, when I trim it down to that, I'll smooth this out too. This is just rough all the way back to there. And that's basically what you have to do to get it to that point. I'll do the same thing on this side, but I'm not going to let you suffer through that. I'll go ahead and stop and bring you back when I get to that point. I lied. I'm going to time lapse this real quick. We're within scraper distance. Feeling for high spots. And we are there. So that's close enough, because I still have to finish this off and smooth that out. So we're good. So there it is, one rough blank. I still got to bring this down a little bit to the 5/8 mark. But it's basically the same thing of what I did there. About the only thing I did different is I scraped this a little bit more and smooth this in. See, that one's not done yet. This one is. This part right here is still faceted, so it's still at the 1-inch thickness up here. And in the end, this will be 7/8. So, well, it looks like I'm out of battery. So that's basically what I do. The next thing I have to do after this is sand it down and make it smooth. And then I fit it to the chair. TTFN.